we were the Murda Mamis, and we were all like,
excuse me?
We were the Murda Mamis. You had the heavy hitters, you had the big dog pit bulls, and you had the Murda Mamis, okay?
How the heck did you go from a Hot 97 DJ to the Food Network?
Love music. I love hip hop. I love food and I love cooking. I don't know what it is about me, and I'm thankful for it. When you tell me I can't, it means that I will. And while I'm doing what I am doing and you tell me I'm not great at it, it lets me feel like, well, but you watching, you paying attention, thank you. I just feel like I have goals. We all do, but I just am not giving up, right? And I feel like the way I describe it is our heart is beating, air is pumping, and we're not even thinking about it.
No, you're just moving.
Yeah, so if your brain says something, you might want to listen to it because it's already pumping your heart. It's already pushing air through your lungs. So if your brain says, give this a try, like it's in you, it knows you best.
Yeah.
So whenever my brain says, give something a try, and it won't leave it alone, like it won't.
Persistent.
Yes, I'm persistent because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to shut it up.
Thank you so much for being in bed with Bevy.
Thanks for asking me. I feel so seen by you in a weird way, which I appreciate.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I don't even really know how we really connected.
I'll tell you. One day you invited me out to the movie thing. It was the movie with Mabry, Tina Mabry.
Yes.
Wrote and directed.
Yes, the Supremes.
Yes.
Dinner with
the diner.
Sanaa Lathan.
And I thought, she knows who I am.
Oh my God,
because
yes, of course.
I watched all your dinners. I always feel like I'm on the outside watching the cool kids. And I enjoy watching the cool kids. Yeah. A lot of my friends in the business, I call them cool kids. Yeah.
You know, that's interesting that you say that because I know what it looks like when it comes to me because I know how I'm perceived.
Yeah.
But I am forever the nerdy, geeky girl.
Well, that's what I love about you. When we met,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, okay." And I think we got on the phone like the next day.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we got on the phone and then we went out to eat and then it was like a thing.
Yeah,
and it's like because I love you, and the thing I love most about you is the way you are a connector, much in the way that I am.
Yeah.
And you give of your connections, your relationships so freely. The other part of you that I love is that you are very successful, but you don't put on airs, and you keep to yourself in a way that's not standoffish. It's just that you protect your peace.
I stay home. I curated life to have things that I like at home, my dogs, my cats, the land, my guy. Like, I like home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have any need to run the streets.
I did that in my 20s.
Big time. But which brings me to this.
Yeah.
How the heck did you go from a Hot 97 DJ to, and which is the heart of hip hop in New York City.
An honor.
To the Food Network. So one, you're like firmly enmeshed in urban culture to the nth degree. Like at the time when you were at Hot 97, I was at Vibe. So it's like the radio station of the culture and the magazine of the culture.
Yeah.
So I know what it was like. How did that transition happen?
I think it's one of those things that people say, it seems like it was a smooth transition, but there was a lot of time in between. And I think a lot of people would be surprised and not understand that, like, Hot 97 was run by a white woman.
Yeah, of course.
Tracy Cloherty, still a good friend of mine, and then even above her in management. And you can't be number one in New York without capturing all of the audience. But yeah, within those four walls, it was urban to the core, honey. Like,
yes. A lot of weed smoking, a lot of gun toting, a lot of sexual harassment without it being named sexual harassment, because that was back in the day when it was just like a given.
Yeah, before the Me Too era, a lot of payola that I never got down with. Yeah, there's some things that I witnessed I don't speak of. Yeah. Like, I'm seeing them in my head right now. Like, I don't even speak of them. They're not my stories to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, the transition from Hot 97 to Food Network was very easy for me, actually. And a lot of people ask me, like, how was the career switch? To me, it wasn't a career switch. I've always found a way to, I guess, promote, advertise, and get people excited about the things that I love, right? I love music.
Yeah.
I love hip hop. That was easy.
Yeah.
I love food and I love cooking. That was easy. The hard part is the business side, right?
Yes.
We've got the creative.
Yep.
It's how do I get into that building and how do I keep knocking on that door until they say yes?
Yeah.
And so it took me about 3 years after I left Hot 97 of meetings, constant meetings, constantly pitching, staying in touch, you know, even to the point where after I got on the network, maybe 2 or 3 years after, I asked the vice president of programming, like, was I annoying? Because I would hit him up regularly.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I have goals. We all do.
Yeah.
But I just am not giving up, right?
No.
And I feel like the way I describe it is our heart is beating, air is pumping, and we're not even thinking about it.
No, you're just moving.
Yeah, so if
Moving
your
towards your
brain
goal.
says something, you might want to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's already pumping your heart. It's already pushing air through your lungs. So if your brain says, give this a try, like it's in you. It knows you best.
Yeah.
So whenever my brain says, give something a try, and it won't leave it alone, like it won't.
Persistent.
Yes, I'm persistent because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to shut it up.
Yeah, exactly. Shut
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
No, but that's so true. And I think a lot of times when people have these thoughts or these ideas, and they've had them for a long time,
Yeah.
they tend to think the opposite. They tend to think, well, I've had this idea for a long time. You know what? I should just give up.
Nope.
It's never going to happen. Sometimes people think like it's literally too late. If I haven't done it by this age, you hear that all the time.
Nope.
If I haven't done it by this age, if I haven't done it by this time, a lot of people get deterred because someone else is doing their idea, done their idea.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter
Who
to me.
cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, there's too many people in the world to think that we're all unique and original with our concept and our idea. What's unique about it is who you are,
Who
right?
you are, yeah. Because there have been a
Yeah.
lot of people that have laid up in bed and done interview shows.
Of course.
But none of them are doing it
None
like
of them are
this.
Bevy. Yes, and the Rolodex is Rolodex.
Okay.
Okay. Why am I here? I've seen your parties. What am I doing here?
Because your story is inspiring and motivational, and you are someone who is in the middle, and you own being in
Yeah,
the middle, and
I
you
love
don't
the
mind.
The
Tell
middle
us.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
I've never not been in the middle, right? So in high school, I'm writing the evening news on the ABC station because
Wait. In high school?
in high school I'm
Wait,
writing.
how is that happening? Now, you said you're in high school,
In
so
high
not
school.
college.
Not college, no degree. I went to intern there one spring break because my parents wouldn't let me go to Corpus Christi, and I loved it. My first day, I wrote and produced what they called back then a vid bite, and it was on from then. I wasn't planning being on TV or radio. I wanted to write. I enjoy writing words and then someone else says them the way I intended. That was
Yes.
fire
Yeah.
in high school. So for me, it was like that was then pushing me into the next thing, right? And then the next thing was broadcasting in the military. While I was in the military, I worked at a radio station outside of the military.
The military allowed you to do that.
Yeah, you can work on the side of the military. You just have to ask the chain of command and they approve it or whatever. So I worked at radio, and then when I was in radio in the military, then I know I want to get out, right?
Yeah.
So then I get a job on the outside while I'm in the military. So I've always figured out a way to, while I'm in it, know that it's not going to be forever and what is the next thing. So at Hot 97, I'm catering, I'm enjoying it. I mean, I thought maybe a restaurant or just bigger catering company.
Yeah.
I never thought Food Network. I never thought it. Yeah.
So, Sunny,
Yeah.
you're bringing food into Hot 97 for friends.
Yeah.
They keep asking you to bring in more food. You decide to start charging them because you want to be like deterring them from asking you for more food, but it turns into a business.
Yep. You got it. That's exactly what happened. You know, I don't know how to make a small tray of mac and cheese. So I never learned that from my mom. So I would make mac and cheese at home, 13 by 9. And I would bring in the leftovers to work, because I can't eat the whole thing.
Right.
And they started liking it. Then I would take it to the studio. Like I got a sound or a voiceover or whatever. And so what happened is, I just started showing up with food. If I showed up and I didn't have food, people were like, where's the food? And I'm like, am I not good enough?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
My presence
right.
ain't good enough. So I started charging for groceries. And actually, Nori actually convinced me to do it. A good friend of mine,
Wow.
I was cooking for him and his crew and everything, and he was like, you should charge. And I was like, yeah, but these are my friends, you know. And so I just started charging just for the groceries, not my effort, if you will.
Yeah.
I thought that would get people to say, like, no, like,
Right.
yeah. And what really happened was people realized, oh, I could get a tray of mac and cheese for $10. Let me tell my friend, can we get 5 trays? And like, literally overnight, it turned into a business for me. And then I had to business up. But just doing that and talking about it on the radio and doing a couple of events here and there, like I say here and there, but like every week I was booked, is how Food Network heard about me. And there was a girl that was listening. Her name is Aaliyah Brown. And they were having meetings about what to do with Emerald's next season. They wanted to have some younger, fun guests on. And she was like, well, I listened to this girl on Hot 97. You know, maybe it'd be fun to have her on. So that's, I mean, they called me. And it was one of those things where you thought it was like a fake message. And I returned the call. It was Food Network. And I met with them and I did Emerald. And that was something because I'd done MTV2 before, hosting a countdown show when I was at Hot 97, and that was cool, but it was heavily scripted, and I'll say it, I've never really said it publicly, but every time I showed up to work, my casting director or producer would ask me how my diet was going.
What? And you didn't tell me you were on no diet.
Oh, no diet. So I would always be like, it's going good, it's going good. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so passive aggressive.
I knew I did not fit
that
the
was
aesthetic they were
was
looking
that the
for.
2000s, the early 2000s?
Yeah, that was like 2001, 2002.
My God.
2002 for sure.
Can you imagine if someone did that now?
You know what's so weird is like my feelings just weren't even, like I said, you just can't hurt my feelings. So I was just like, yeah, girl, I'm working on it, and just like continue my job because I felt like my talent is going to precede my looks, y'all. Get over if I'm thicker.
But not for TV.
Yeah, not for TV then. We're getting better now. You know what I mean? We're getting a little bit better.
I think it's, I think.
Well, listen, I went to Food Network where if you gain weight, they don't care. You know what I mean? Who trusts a skinny cook? You know what I mean?
They're like, no, more.
Yeah, I had a good time. And after doing that one episode with Emerald, his producers came up to me, and it was like that Johnny Carson moment vibe where they were like, we think that you could do this. And I was like this? And they were like, yeah, this. And I was like, what does this entail? You know what I mean? This is a lot of work, you know? And everything they told me to do, I put to work. It was building up my recipes. You know, I cooked a lot, but I didn't have recipes, you know what I mean? So I had to do a real intense, like, months of cooking and writing down, and you know they gave me the format of how their recipes were delivered by on-air talent, and so I built up my recipes. I got to 100, and everything they asked me to do, I would have meetings with the producers. You know, that's another thing. I never once met with Emerald. Okay, I did his show, but I never once met with Emerald, and I feel like people always look for the wrong mentor. They look for a mentor in the person that they want to be.
Yes.
And I say, you got to look for the mentor that hires the person you want to be.
Yes, that you want to be. The person that builds the person that you want to be.
Yeah, because usually the person that you want to be doesn't know how they got there and can't help you get there the same exact way. Yeah. And so I just spent those years talking, meeting with his producers, and finding out what it took. And then I just kept on, always be closing. I would send emails, texts to the executives. You know, I didn't have an agent or a manager, and still don't. Wow. So just beat down that door.
And now 20 years of doing
since 2008,
Yeah.
What is that now? Almost 2018. Oh my God.
18 years of doing Food Network, which is amazing. And now not only are you still at Food Network.
Yeah, I'm still talking with them
Still talking with them and doing things with them, but now you're also on the Drew Barrymore Show. Yeah. And this year is the year that they gave you your official spot.
I'm the Drew crew.
You're part of the Drew crew. Along with Ross.
Yeah, Ross Matthews. He's like the quintessential professional. Yeah. And Valerie Bertinelli, and there's like a whole crew of us, and it's really, really nice to get to work with them from time to time. But Drew is a joy.
Yeah, she seems like a joy.
Man.
But you know, there's always the parodies about her. She's a close talker, and she likes to nuzzle up with you.
Yeah.
But you're also a fuzzy girl like that, so you don't mind a little nuzzling,
Not
right?
At all.
Yeah.
It feels so normal, and actually, reassuring and confirming at times. Sometimes you might be both listening to someone tell a story. We listened to a guy today talking, and you know, just to reach over and say, like, I hear it, I feel you, I'm paying attention. Yeah. It means a lot. And
it does.
I like touchy-feely.
It's
cool with me. It's cool with me. It's cool with me.
And that's why you like all your little fuzzy things.
I do. I'm cozied up.
Yes, all cozied up.
Yeah.
One of the things that I notice about you is that you do have this lovely, I don't want to call it a persona, but you have this lovely spirit about you. And you're very welcoming, but you're also very no nonsense.
Yeah.
And you do not suffer fools.
No.
And you will check somebody.
Yeah.
So I was looking at you on the interwebs.
What I do?
You said, don't let them fool you.
Yes. Let them fuel you.
Let's talk about that, because basically it's kind of like a play on let your haters be your motivators.
That's right, honey boo boo. That's right. Yeah. Because I don't know what it is about me, and I'm thankful for it. When you tell me I can't, it means that I will. And while I'm doing what I am doing and you tell me I'm not great at it, it lets me feel like, well, but you watching, you paying attention, thank you. Because I feel like we all watch people on TV. Yeah. There's people I can't stand. I'm still watching them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you know what else? When I see people doing anything, it doesn't even have to be on TV.
Yeah.
If I see them doing something and I think I can do it better, but they're in a better position than I am, I take a note.
Yeah.
Because how is it that I believe that they're not as great as me? But yeah, sweetie, but they're doing more.
They're doing something.
Yeah. So just, you might want to take a note, sweetie.
Just chill. Yeah. Just chill out.
Like, I think you can learn from anyone.
You can, you know, I feel like, okay, I'll sit on the couch. The number one thing, I'll be like, her wig ain't right. Well, people have said that to me. And I'm like, they were right. But when we do that, sometimes it's literally we want better for them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We say, well, they got the money. How come her wig is not slayed like it should be with all that money, right? And so sometimes the hate is really just intense love. But it's positioned
I like the way you
it really is. Because because I want her to look better for me. So it's the ego of it all. Yeah. It's like, well, you don't think I look good for me?
Right.
You want me to look good for you? But if I look good for you, then I might not look good for them or for that person, for that. So how about I just look good for me?
Right.
And if you could just get comfortable with it, that'd be great. But if not, it's cool. It's cool.
Side-ate.
Yeah, side-ate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're really good about a side-ate. When we were just in the elevator coming up, and a guy gets on, and he's at the gym, coming off the gym.
Yeah.
And I said, very cute gym, Sunny. Small, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
And you said,
I'm not working out. I did that in the military.
Yes.
I did left, right, left already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do accidental workout.
Yeah. But you do not do a concentrated workout.
No.
And you know how rare that is to hear someone say that?
I mean,
Admit
I'll walk.
That. Yeah.
I'll walk.
Yeah.
That's a workout.
It's exercise.
I'll put a weighted vest on and I'll walk.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I garden.
Yeah.
I can't not look at your cleavage right now.
You can't do that on daytime TV. Actually, Dove told me you can't do this on YouTube.
What?
You can't have cleavage on YouTube.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh, that's I always say. I'm not going to curse or show cleavage until my grandma's gone.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
I can't
that.
have her at the church getting picked on. So
yeah, getting picked on.
Yeah, she hang out.
Well,
with
you
the
don't allow
wife.
people to pick on you though.
I don't care. Yeah, it's like I literally learned sticks and stones.
Yeah.
Right? And the words don't hurt. Plus, you know, I grew up moving around pretty much every year as a military brat.
Yeah.
So I was the new girl all the time. I didn't have the cool clothes or the cool vernacular or the dance moves of where I was moving to. And so I found very early on to just like who I am. You know what I mean?
That's going to have to be enough.
It has to be enough. Yeah. I know me the best. So it's going to have to be enough. But yeah, words, I don't know. I get excited when people are nasty. I don't know how to say that. I don't know. Yeah.
No, wait. Now, you got to break that down to me because I don't really get that. Like, so I try not to be affected by people's words or by what they think, criticisms and things like that.
Yeah.
If enough people say the same thing to me about me, I will take a note, though. Especially if it's people that I love and respect.
Yeah.
I will take a note.
What I realize is a couple things. One, this is like the kid that doesn't know how to get attention the nice way, right? They just want attention because, like, leave me alone. Like, if you don't like me, why are you searching me out, right? And then, to me, secondary is when someone wants to kill you, they're going to try the sharpest weapon.
Yeah.
Right? And so the sharpest weapon in their repertoire is words.
Yeah.
Right? And so what I like to do is, if you call me phony and you don't have a face or a real name, I like to say that you might be the phony
You're
one.
The phony.
You might be phony. That literally just happened.
Yeah.
And you'll find if you use the exact same word, their knife, against them, it actually hurts them more than it'll ever hurt you, because it's their weapon.
And then they leave you alone.
They have blocked me, honey. As soon as I tell them that they're exactly what they're telling me I am, and they want to fight it, they get hurt, they don't want to hear it no more. And to me, you can call me words all day. I enjoy it. I enjoy words. You know, like whatever. Like it comes with success.
Yeah.
But
you've always had a thick skin.
Yeah, I don't care.
You mentioned something in the interview that you had bullies inside your home.
Yeah.
And so that taught you early on.
100%. Yeah, my brother was horrible to me. My mom was not a protector at all and not a friend. I don't think moms should be friends, but all these stereotypical things that I see mothers and daughters do, like you talk about boys or your period, or you go get nails done and stuff like that. Me and my mom never did it. She never talked to me about my period. My dad did. Thank goodness he's a doctor. But yeah, we didn't have that growing up.
So how do you even deal with that? Because as we know, there was a big thing that Oprah did about kind of like distancing yourself from family that's like toxic. For you, how have you dealt with this over the years?
I haven't talked to them in like 8 or 9 years.
Okay. Does that fuel your success in any way, do you think? Or did it used to? Did you feel like you wanted to show them that you could make it without them?
Oh, I don't think that their treatment of me is the impetus of what I want to do in life, but it's always been a feeling of, from anyone that didn't like the joie de vivre or the happiness in me, like, joke's gonna be on them. I'm gonna show them.
Yep.
Like, you're gonna want to be my friend later, or you're gonna want to know me or not, or you're just gonna look and say, this is the girl that I doubted, or this is the girl I could have nurtured. Because I see so many, I love when I see stories of like the mom supporting the daughter.
Yes.
It is so awesome to see. I like Bose, Bose and her
the way
daughter.
She is with her daughter, it's so beautiful.
Miss Tina.
Yes.
I see women like that supporting their children, and I wish. Because I say to myself, what could be?
Yeah.
What could be?
Who would you have been if your mom had been that supportive figure in your life, right?
Yeah. What more could I have been?
Yeah, because you're already doing great.
Yeah.
But like, and how would it have changed your life? How would it have shaped your life in totality?
Yeah. I'm okay with how it ended up. Because maybe
course.
I'm in spite of, right? I'm the in spite of. I'm definitely the in spite of. Like, if something horrible happens, I'm going to win in spite of it. So I do like that energy, that I have something to fight against or be better than, you know. But I always wish, like, man, you know. I have so many friends with that story where their parents, like, literally supported them.
But you also, I know I have a few friends with mothers who lliterally did not like them.
Oh, yeah, that's me. She straight up told me she was jealous of me growing up. And I'm like, how's that work? What are we jealous of?
Right.
Because I'm you. Yeah, I'm you. If anything, I'm going to get my life that you couldn't get because you were raising me. She's a whole intelligent woman with a degree in law. And she supported my dad in the military. He's a radiologist, and she moved every year. She couldn't really have her own career. So in my mind, I want to be the things that you wish you could have done, and I want you to champion that in me. And
it's our win.
Yeah, man.
When you win, it's her win as well. In your mind.
That's exactly how I feel.
But that's not the way she sees it.
Yeah, I don't know how she sees it. Yeah, I have no idea. I've people, like, when I tell people that my mom said she was jealous of me, they're like, of what? I'm like, I wish I would have asked, but I was so stunned when she said it, I didn't have a follow-up.
Were you a kid when she said it?
No, I was, let's see, probably like 30, 35.
Okay. Yeah. But still hurtful.
Yeah, very hurtful. I think that's also why other people's words don't hurt me, because I feel like only my family can really put words together that would hurt me. I think in high school was the one time I had gotten my feelings hurt and I came home crying. But I really think it was because I really liked the friend group I wanted to be in. And there was one person that just didn't want me in the friend group. But again, it was just because I was the new girl.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm still friends with the person they didn't want me to be friends with.
See,
So.
and there's that.
I mean, I'm sure if I really dug deep, I could find other moments where people said things to me that hurt me. But I don't feel the brunt of it. It literally words. And we're all individuals. Like, can I not just be myself? Like, you know, like I don't want to be made in the image of you.
Yeah.
I'm made in the image of something completely bigger and different.
That brings me back to the Hot 97 of it all. I know you said that it was like very...
It was crazy, Bevy.
It was crazy.
I got there on Aaliyah weekend, if you know what that weekend was.
Oh my God, when she passed?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then September 11th was like a week or two after. So yeah. I moved here at crazy time.
A crazy time.
Yeah.
You were also here for all the like turmoil, the Wendy of it all, Angie, and you were a part of the Remy Ma situation.
Oh, with the fight? Oh, with our girl Gloria. Well, with my girl Gloria.
Yeah, you were there at that fight.
I was there at that fight. Yep, I sure was.
Wow. So I'm like, what is Sunny doing in that space?
Because I was outside, Bevy, before outside was outside.
I know.
You know how many people were like, Sunny, was that Sunny? The Sunny? The Food Network Sunny?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
Well, listen, first of all, we were all a girl, like, conglomerate. We were the Murda Mamis, and we were all like...
Excuse me?
We were the Murda Mamis. You had the heavy hitters, you had the big dog pit bulls, and you had the Murda Mamis, okay?
Wait, that is a real, like, crew name?
Oh, we were a clique. Yes.
The Murda Mamis.
The Murda Mamis.
Who was in the Murda Mamis?
Okay, so... it was me, DJ Lazy K, Elvia, she ran it. She's like a promoter. Lala was in it. Steph.
Lala Anthony?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Murda Mamis.
Oh gosh, who else? Remy. I feel like I said Steph. I don't know if Steph was in it or not. But like maybe two other women. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and Gloria.
And Gloria, of course.
Yeah, and the girls were fighting. I wasn't taking sides, but I felt like when girls fight, just let two girls fight.
Yeah.
Right? And if other people want to jump in, I will just be security. That was something else, I tell you.
Yeah.
Gloria. Don't mess with Gloria. Okay?
She came up hard. And
You don't want to play with Gloria outside or inside of a ring. I'm trying to tell you, I saw it.
When you're dealing with that kind of stuff in that space, your dad's a doctor.
Yeah.
You grew up all over the world. Are you like, this is a little chaotic. I don't know if I really want to be a part of this.
All of Hot 97 was chaotic for me.
Right.
But you don't seek chaos sometimes. It just finds you, and you got to figure out what to do with it. Because we walked in talking about, like, we knew that there was beef. And we walked in talking calm, like, you guys, we know that there's going to be tension. We were in the vehicle all just talking everyone down.
I don't know if anyone was sounding like that.
No, we all were talking it down. And then we got in there and it just went crazy. These two women just wanted to fight. You know, sometimes people just want to fight. Yeah. I don't get it.
They like to tussle.
I don't tussle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of I'll yell at you and then I will succeed. That's me. Like, I'll just work hard. Yeah.
And win in that way.
Yeah, but that was crazy. That just came back up because Gloria came out with a book.
Yes.
And people were like, is she talking about you? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they wanted me to say, like, it's not true.
Well, when I read that excerpt, I was like,
I didn't even read it because I lived it.
I could not believe it was you and that's why I keep coming back to, how do you get from Murda Mami to Food Network with Emerald Lagasse? Like, I don't know how that works.
I'm just being me.
So even when you were at Hot 97 and you're a Murda Mami, you're still this version of Sunny.
This is it. I mean, people heard me on the radio when I first got there. First of all, they did not know I was black, and that's okay.
Yeah. Because you have that Midwestern kind of like...
Yeah, I grew up everywhere. Yeah, so, and then, like, I remember, I'll never forget. I was here for like about 2 months, and I got a call from a record exec. And he says, yeah, you're not going to make it. He said it he called me on the hotline. He's like, you're not going to make it. Now, mind you, this is a guy who had tried to holler, and I was like, no thanks. So it could have been just sour grapes, who knows. But he's like, we've been talking in the office, and you're just too corny. You're not going to make it. Well, whatever. And so I was like, ain't this something?
Right.
I'm in the middle of my shift, and he got the nerve to think he can call me and tell me I'm not doing it. So I went and I told Tracy, I told mommy, I told the boss after I got off my shift, I was like, Tracy, so-and-so called and he had this to say. And I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Understand, Tracy chose me, sir.
Right.
She hired me.
Yeah.
So now you hating on her hire.
Right.
So he got banned from the station. Yeah. I don't understand people that, listen, I just wake up ready to go and ready to be happy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't understand people like, I would never call someone while they're working and say, I've discussed it and we don't think you're going to last. Like, who does that?
You?
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, like.
Yeah. And those are the trolls.
Yeah.
You understand? Those are the trolls.
And even before social media, there have always been trolls. Anytime a woman is in position, it doesn't even have to be a woman in the public space. Anytime there's a woman in position, there's literally always someone there. And it does not have to be men.
Yeah.
It could be other women that are looking to take you down.
That's right.
And you just have to have a thick skin and a really strong work ethic. For me, that's what it's always been about.
I'm going to outwork everybody.
I'm going to outwork you, honey.
Yeah, so good luck. I'm going to outwork you. And I'm sure you felt that there are women that you can help. And then the moment you're done, like on their idea of being done, like they got everything they needed, it's contentious, honey. It's like, oh, they don't need you anymore. It happens.
And it was devastating.
It is devastating.
It took this age to get to that. I'm not, in my adult life, I've always been, I think, very discerning about my friendships and about the people that I avail myself to. I'm not a person that is, like, I have a kind word for everybody, but I don't necessarily go out of my way to put myself in the line of fire for you.
I think that's been my problem. Yeah. And I think as I mature, I'm turning into a better version of what you've done, which is I would always, like, for example, see someone that I thought, I don't think they could do this, or I think, And then I would be like, hey, I'm open book. You want to ask me anything? I can help you out with anything. Humbly, let me know. Yeah. And so I've always been the person that's like, let me help you.
Yeah, I mean, you literally did it with me. You were like, Bevy, you should have this person and that person. Let me introduce you to the lawyer. Let me introduce you to.
I did.
I mean, yeah.
Because I see a businesswoman in you.
Yes.
And so my first question, usually about us and women, especially because we've only been in the workplace for, half a century, is you good? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you good?
Right.
Because
are your deals good?
Yeah. Are you happy with who's handling your deals? Is it just you? Is it a manager? Does he have a legal department?
Right.
Is it an entertainment attorney? Like, I just want to make sure people are good, because we can all glitter as gold, but in the background, like, is the business good?
Right.
And so that's my goal. I really just want to do the cliche.
You want to do the good work.
I want to do what makes me happy.
Yeah.
It sounds corny, but whatever.
No, but I agree.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to just make money, I could have just stayed on a corporate job. Of course, now that corporate job would have been gone. But when I quit, it was a thriving thing to have the kind of job that I had in 2005.
Yeah.
But I quit because I knew I could do this kind of work. Yeah. I knew it. Instinctively, with no proof.
You don't need proof.
Knowledge of self.
Yeah. Because your brain told you it's pumping the air, pumping blood. Yeah. Right? It knew you could do it. You just got to give it a go. Like,
what advice would you give to someone who's in the middle and it feels really uncomfortable? Because as you know, this show is really about helping people navigate the middle. Or it's about having people talk about being in the middle and what they hope for their next plateau. Because I want this to be a little bit of a time capsule. I want people to be able to look back and say, I remember when I was in bed with Bevy in 2026, and I said I was looking forward to doing X, Y, and Z, and oh my God, it's now 2029, and I did it. Yeah. That's what I hope this to be.
I think the best thing I could say to anyone that's in the middle trying to figure out what is next is don't work so hard at that. Just kind of be present. Yeah. Anytime I've been between jobs, I've done the thing that I do most is I want to do what I love, right? And so I'll never forget when I moved back to New York and I was still trying to get on Food Network after Hot 97, sometimes people want to just stay in their career field, but sometimes there's happiness outside of it. And so I just wrote down things that I love, but at the top of the list, I put dogs and cats and animals. But in my brain, I was like, what kind of job is that? Right. You know what I mean? But I just kept on making a list. And then I went on Craigslist, because back then you could find jobs on Craigslist.
Oh my God.
Okay, whatever. I did.
Okay.
You asked me, I'm telling you.
Okay,
wow.
girl, I'm not judging, but I am kind of judging.
It's okay, you can judge me, but people used to find jobs on Craigslist.
Okay, girl, I don't know anything about that. I'm a New Yorker. Craigslist. I don't even understand that. Okay, go on.
It was like 2006.
I still don't know her. Craigslist.
Yeah. Okay, but you could sell stuff. Like I sold furs on Craigslist.
Okay. I'm not furs. I'm from the Murda Mamis era.
I did. Yeah, it was a pink fur. I was just talking about it today.
Yeah.
But I went on Craigslist, and the funniest thing happened. As soon as I went on Craigslist to look for a job that day after I made my list, the first ad I saw was, the title said, "Must be okay with picking up poop." And then I read the rest of the ad, and it was for working at a dog daycare. And I thought, well, I did say I like dogs.
Yeah.
And this is decent money. And so I went and I interviewed and I got the job. I picked up poop that summer. And it was one of the best jobs I've ever had. Yeah, I got to play with dogs. Oh. They paid me to play with dogs. All I got to do was pick up the poop. Like,
that sounds like a nightmare for Bevy Smith. You know, back when I used to do...
It put food on the table.
I'd have to love the animals if you're on morning TV.
Yeah, you got to love everything, if you ask me. Yeah. Or at least pretend. I mean, I do morning TV, like when I do the Today Show or GMA and stuff like that. Like, you can see some people are just like, just flip the burger. You know what I mean? Like, can we just get through this food segment? Yeah. I want to get back to the real news. You know what I mean? So there's definitely that, but like, whatever. Yeah. That's what I would say to people if they're in the middle is, truly don't care about your career you're trying to get to. Because I was still, as I was working at the kennel, I was still taking meetings at Food Network, right? And then after the kennel, I worked at a sales position, selling loans. But like, I still was taking those meetings. And I really feel like I was just trying to take care of my happiness, right? Like, I can't chase a dream sad and stressed. Right. And then I also think...
Wait, stop down on that, babe. You can't chase a dream sad.
Yeah. Or stressed.
Or stressed.
And people do that. You know what they'll do? And this is what my other thing I was going to say. They'll do like, I'm going to try for 3 years. If I don't make it in 2 years, well, I've got a 4-year plan. Like, what? Like, that constraint is too much for me. I need the amoeba of it all. Yes. Like, I just know I'm going to get it done. I'm going to figure it out. Like you were saying, you can have an idea and it can pick on you for years and they just don't do it because they feel like someone else is doing it or it's too late. Honey, I got a meeting on Friday for an idea I came up with 6 years ago that I pitched over and over and over again. And we have something in sales when I did sales called ABC. Yeah. Always be closing.
Always be closing.
I always be closing. Yeah. So anytime I meet someone, let me give you my 5-minute pitch about this. And then I did it, and now I have meetings and we're getting it done. So I'm never giving up until life gives up on me.
That's right.
Because I don't want to leave this planet giving up. Yeah. I want to leave the planet going hard. Yeah. Well, or in retirement.
Oh, in retirement. Yeah. Well, you know what I always say on my tombstone that's going to say, she tried.
You said that, yeah.
She tried.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm going to, until I close my eyes, I'm going to be working towards all of those dreams that I have.
Is one of your dreams retirement, though?
No, because I'm not interested in retirement.
I am very interested.
But let me tell you why I'm not interested in retirement.
Tell me.
Because there's nothing that I do for a living that feels like work. I used to work for a living.
I just don't want emails.
You don't have to have emails.
I do have emails.
But you don't have to have them.
You're right. It could be all text.
And it could, no. It could, the other people can receive the email. And you can just float above all the things.
Oh, you like that? You, of course, you're Bevy. I'm sorry.
I'm like, let the people handle the emails.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not taking all those emails.
I handle all the stuff. I'm a one-woman shop.
No.
I do everything.
I don't want to. I'm not interested in that.
Except for the legal department.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, so you want the manager or the assistant.
It's not so much about the manager. I want a team. And not, because I'm not looking at myself as talent anymore.
I hate that word because we're all talented. Yeah. That makes monsters in this business. When you call the person on camera talent, people that have been on the same set for like more than a decade and they don't know the camera person's name.
Oh yeah, disgraceful.
Right?
Disgraceful.
Yeah, so I don't like that energy.
No, that's bad business.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's horrible. And those people are the ones that when the tide turns, because it always does. They're going to be ass out. And they don't understand that those lovely PAs are now the big executive producer. So, Sunny, the accomplishment of being able to be at Food Network was major. I remember everyone was talking about you being on Food Network.
Really?
We were very happy and proud to see you on there because there were not a lot of black people on the Food Network.
Yeah.
Okay? So it was a very big deal. And the fact that you were on there consistently and continually for 40 seasons is like a wow, a real accomplishment.
Yeah.
And when just recently the show that you were on for so many years went away.
Yeah.
And most people would be devastated.
I was cool with it. Yeah.
Tell me, because, you know, I just had Scott Evans on, and he talked about Access Hollywood going away.
That. Yeah.
And he was totally fine with it because he already had his next in movement.
Yeah. I mean, okay, how do I say? How do I put this? I feel like the only way you really can know your success is when you're able to kind of look back on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like we can be in the midst of it and people will tell you, I hope you're enjoying it. And yeah, we're enjoying it. But when it's over, like you run a mile, it's like, I ran that mile.
Yes.
So I feel like, wow, when it was over, that's when you would get a chance to look at the finality of it all and say, what? Wait a minute. We did 40 seasons?
Yeah.
12 years?
Yeah.
Thankful, happy, surprised at the life that rolled out after the work that I put in, right? I don't know how to not be happy about work that was good, that was good to me, that put me in positions to do other things. And when I first started at Food Network, you know, my goal I would always tell people was like, I was already catering.
Yeah.
So I really just wanted to de facto cater for more people, right? I wanted more people to taste the food, and then I got to tell the stories. And you know, it's the biggest compliment when people DM me or comment like they've used one of my recipes at a special event like the holidays or something that I've shared with them has become rote and regular for them. Those are the things that I was already doing on radio, was sharing the things that I love. So the finality of the kitchen was really to me like a celebration. I don't know how to say it any other way. Yeah. At the same time, I know when it happened and I had that reaction, I feel like I was the only one.
Well, yeah, because and you know what? It's so true. I mean, we were only on 3 years with Page 6 TV, but when it ended, I was relieved, but not for the same reason that you were relieved. I was relieved because I didn't enjoy the work.
Oh, wow.
So I was very happy that it was over because I was looking for a way out. But, you know, they lock you into those 7-year deals.
They do.
So I was like, Lord of mercy, if I got to pull another 4 years up in this juke joint. And then it got canceled. So it was like.
You were happy.
Yes, but I was sad for the crew.
You need more crew than you need of you.
Oh, most
right?
assuredly.
And I have seen, like, the set I work on now with Drew, one of the cameramen was there when I was on Emerald at Food Network, right? Yeah. And then I go to the Today Show a couple weeks ago. That cameraman was on Emerald. Yeah. So I see some of the same crew all over the business, right? And so I know, hopefully, that the crew does well. And they are doing well. I keep in touch with a lot of the crew. They're doing well. So, yeah, I worry about them picking up the next gig and the health insurance and all those things that go with it. But I was happy that we'd done it, right? And can't go on forever. No. And
but sometimes it feels like it will. 12 years is certainly, to me, sounds like it went on forever. That's a long haul.
You know what's so
You were
crazy?
like Mary Hart, Virgin on the Birth.
I didn't even realize it was 12 years till it was over. Wow. And then you do them. Maybe there are people that do the math as they're doing it, but when it was over and then it was the finality of 12 years, 40 seasons, it's like, oh my God. You know.
So intense.
Yeah, but you know, I've always been the retire person. Like even when I was in radio and I'm like at Hot or whatever, I never said to myself, I wanted to be, 50 years old playing hip hop music, even though it's in me and I love it. You could take me out of it. You can't take it out of me. But I always thought, well, if I'm still in radio, I will, put myself out to pasture and I'll go do like Urban AC or something like that or something else. But I've always been in retirement mind. So to me, I've never said.
Do you think you'll ever really, because you keep talking about this retirement.
Yes.
You think you will eventually end up doing nothing except playing with the dogs, the cats, and grazing amongst the land?
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to retire from emails and things. And
But what if there were no emails? So, hear me out.
I'm listening.
So I have a life vision. Now I'm going to ask you what your life vision is.
Okay.
So my life vision is I have passive income coming in. It's wonderful. I have an art and architecture curation business that I love to do because that's one of my passions. So I help people find important homes and then I help them fill it with important things, right? So it's a beautiful artsy thing and I don't do a lot of it. And I actually only do that to fuel my foundation. Okay? But the bulk of my work is done at home on myself and my man who's coming. On Sundays, we have a beautiful home that has a deck, and we have a deck with a retractable wall because, you know, it's a thing on the kitchen. The deck, the kitchen on the deck.
Sure.
We make the food together. I grill the veggies, he grills the fish. It's beautiful. So he washes my hair on Sundays. He greases my scalp.
He washes your hair and greases your scalp. Let me fix my face because I don't want to act like this can't happen. Hold on.
Yeah, fix it.
Go ahead.
It definitely happen. There's lots of great men that grease scalps.
Yes,
and
of
wash
course.
hair.
It's just a lot. It's a lot that you want. What if he's not a great grill artist? Like,
if he's not a great grill, it's fine.
Some things are like you.
Yeah,
can, okay.
that's
all right. Let's
definitely
build a
negotiable.
perfect stitch. Okay, so you got the Sunday.
But I don't know how I can't grill a piece of meat. I mean, it's fish. How hard is it? Don't you put in that little contraption, just turn it around?
You could. You put fish cage. Yeah.
Give him a fish cage.
Okay, I like that.
He better know how to do that.
Okay, I like that.
I want to be with a capable man. So on Sundays, we do the washing of the hair in the morning and the greasing of the scalp and everything. We've exercised together. We do tantric yoga. You know, we do a lot of things that are wellness.
All this on Sunday?
Girl, it's 24 hours in a day.
Okay, I like this. Okay. Tantric yoga.
Yes, honey, because I need him to hold it. I need him to hold it. He's very bendy, twisty. Anyway,
I need a meal.
Have a little tea sandwich.
Let me go to my happy place. I'm going to my happy place.
That's the egg. I think that's a chicken, and that's a tuna, and that's watercress.
Okay.
So my man will not be serving me those little tea sandwiches. So anyway, listen. So then we when we're having the early dinner.
Okay.
So while the sun is going down, he's going down on me. I hate you so much. Please control yourself. This is all in my book, by the way. Revelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie Bestie. Available on hardcover and paperback.
You put that in the book?
Yeah, it's all in the book. This whole thing is...
I need to read more books.
Yeah. This whole thing is mapped out in the book. It's my life revision.
Okay.
Okay?
So let me tell you something. But I do want to retire. Yeah.
I don't want to retire.
Do you want to stay working forever?
It's not work.
I get it. I don't think what I'm doing is work either.
Yeah.
I think retirement is not doing nothing. It's being more intentional about the projects that you do.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think I'll expend more time instead of like, if it's 50-50, 50 life, 50 work, as far as the time. I think I want to maximize.
I'm doing more like 25 work, 75 play.
Okay.
Like that's literally, because I'm not doing a lot. Like that's the part about me and the guy. Like it's the passive income. It's us having very leisurely mornings. I have leisurely mornings now. Yes.
You can get passive income right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
It gets greater later. Available on BevySmith.com. Yeah. The merch. The In Bed with Bevy sheets.
Okay. Yes, you talked to me about that a year ago.
The Bevy's Big Brassiere.
I like that, but I want my whole house Bevified. Okay.
Yeah,
I love your style.
We're gonna have the trays.
Yes.
We're gonna have the tea, the service. We're gonna have all of that.
Okay,
right?
I'm into that.
That's passive income.
So you want to do that in your retirement years?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm not working like you talking about emails and doing all that. I'm not doing all that. Right?
I just want to hang with the dogs.
I want to hang with the dogs. I want to hang with my man. I want to hang with the children in my life that I absolutely love. Yeah. And I want to give back in meaningful ways.
Yeah.
Which is why my charity is funded by my art and architecture business. So I'm doing all these things.
I think that's another thing for retirement as well, is getting the education that you decided not to because career was taking off, right? I'm sure you have that vibe. For me, it was, career was taking off, I would much rather do career than school that's not going to support career.
Well, it's a thing of this, right? Like, so, yeah, like I don't want to go to school to get a degree.
Exactly. I want to go to learn.
I want to go to learn
what I want to learn.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
I want to go for language.
So that's the pleasure.
And I know this sounds really stupid, but there's like drone courses. So I want to, there's drone certifications. So I want to go to language.
Drive a drone?
Yeah. I already know how to run cameras, so it's just another camera.
Okay. What are you going to do with that? Do you do anything with those skills, or it's just for the pleasure of it all? Just for the pleasure of learning?
Yeah, I just want to learn it, because don't you feel like, I feel like if you know how to do photography, like I know film, so then you keep on moving up. And like if drones are the new cameras, like maybe, even 10 years ago, we would never get drone shots in movies or on TV shows, and they're happening now. And so I kind of like to know how those things work. Okay. So yeah, there's a course for drone ops.
And you can do that now.
And language. I want to learn as many languages as possible.
many languages. Do you travel?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solo with your man?
Both, and girls trips.
Okay, and girls trips.
I love a girls trip. Yeah.
Are you the wild girl on the girl trips?
No, I'm so boring. I'm boring. Yeah, I wanna do the corny tourist stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, or I just want to lay up. I want to go to a spa or lay out and just catch the sun all day. Okay. But like, I'm very boring. Yeah. I'm not out swinging from the chandeliers or anything like that.
I want to do all the things, including all the touristy things. Like, not touristy, I do cultural things. All these things are enrichment to me and to my life. And that's always been my goal, to make sure that I'm enriching my life on a consistent basis.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah. So I'm adventurous and I'm curious. And that's the little brown Bevy in me. And I want to keep her alive by doing all these things.
Yeah, man.
That's the reason why I dance every week.
I see you out there.
Yes, you see me out there. I'm a romper and a cavorter and a skipper and all those. I skip very poorly, by the way. But I love to do all those things.
You know.
I tip very well.
Yeah, I was going to say, your skip is difficult, honey.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on up top. Yeah.
Yes. And in the back. Don't make me one of them girls who just got bust and no butt. Okay? I'm not her. My name is not Susan.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean, it's all of those things for me that recognizes the little girl that was too shy to try certain things.
Well, that's the beauty of it too, right? Like, you're paying back the kid that wanted to, didn't get a chance to, always dreamt of. Yeah. That's how I feel. So for me, retirement looks like more dogs, more land, and more time to spend with them and my guy. Like we don't go to life, we go to work. And like, I really think we've got it so messed up when we think that we're supposed to work hard until 65. Like, what? No. Like, I'm 50. Yeah. I can't imagine 15 more years if I can get it done in 5. Like, I would love a brain that could give me some goalposts, if you will, because I'm just free balling out here. Like, I was trying to look for a better word.
I just love a strategy. I love a strategy.
I think I have strategy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have strategy. Like, I think it's just keep like left, right, every day, do something to get there. Yeah. Just don't give up type energy, because someone's going to take a day off, and when they do and I don't, that's just putting me one peg ahead, and then I just keep on going.
But do you feel like you're working constantly?
No.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm working constantly. I think that I actually, when I tell people that I'm lazy, they won't believe it.
I'm lazy as can be.
I'm so lazy.
That's why I'm laying up in bed doing a conversation with the people. Yeah. I am so lazy.
I'm super lazy.
I am not into working. Yeah. I'm certainly not into working hard. I spent a lot of downtime in my life. When my mom lived with me, it was the most amazing year and a half of my life, because I got a chance to just be home legitimately and be like, I ain't going to that thing, I'm lolly.
Yeah.
And it was great because I was able to like just check out, because I like doing a bag of nothing.
Well, because you're actually making a living from being you.
Yes.
Right? So when you're making a living from being yourself, the way I see it is, I actually need to be me which means
I got to refuel.
Yeah.
I have
so
to
if I
refuel.
need to chill and hang out and garden all day, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's right.
Yeah. If I need to go on vacation a couple times, okay, all right. If I
6 times a year.
yeah, whatever.
Vacation,
I'm getting
Bevy.
it in. Yes.
Yeah. I love a good vacation.
We should go on vacation together.
We should.
I love a good vacation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think your idea of retirement is
I'm not
beautiful.
retiring.
No, but you gave the idea of it. It's what you look for in the future, which is comfort. Your idea of comfort. You want a guy that's nurturing,
well hung, and very confident, loves his family, loves God.
Yo, you know what's so funny?
You know?
You sound crazy right now.
Why?
What you mean well hung?
You don't have to go into it.
I mean,
You don't have to go into it. It's fine.
have they all?
If they read the book, it says there's 2 types of people.
I need to read your book instead of just saying I know you. I need to read and get to know you.
It says in the book, it says there's 2 types of people in life.
What?
Size queens and liars.
I'm not a size queen.
Well, you're a liar.
I don't think I've ever cared.
I probably shouldn't have said that. We'll just take that.
Yeah.
I swear for God.
I mean, because I've definitely been.
We're
with
definitely
guys.
taking that out. I hate you. Okay, we're moving on from this, Sunny. Because I'm going to get all kinds of trouble.
Let me just say, as we edit back in, we have edited out some things that she said she didn't want y'all to hear, okay? But I was about to go there. Yeah. But we not going there now because we in bed with who?
Bevy.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to keep it cute and nice. Sunny.
Bevy.
Did you know that the Bevy worked in all white spaces until she got the Vibe magazine?
I did know because you talk about it. I do. Yes.
All white spaces.
All white spaces.
Until I got the Vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I left Vibe, I went back to an all white space, Rolling Stone magazine.
Yep.
Okay. So I grew up and I cut my teeth doing business, navigating those worlds where I was the only one and I was sometimes othered. It wasn't always a thing of like, no one necessarily. There was one time when I was a kid in the advertising fashion business where someone said the N word in front of me. But it was the 80s and people.
They said in front of you or to you?
They said in front of me.
Okay, they were just testing it out.
Yeah, yeah. And I was a kid and I didn't say anything because I was a kid.
It happened.
And you know what I mean? I hate that kid didn't backhand him. But
that also happens. We have missed moments.
Yeah, right. And you've talked about the fact that you don't really have any kind of imposter syndrome, even though you've worked in all these different kinds of spaces.
Yeah, I belong. I'm here.
You belong.
I do.
How do you
know
know
how
that?
I know? Because I'm there. Because I'm there.
Come on now. The proof is in the pudding.
I'm like literally there.
Yeah.
So if anyone thinks I don't belong, pray tell why. Why? Right. So when I go to Food Network and, the first person that had a cooking show that was Black on Food Network, Bevy Smith, we got to give her love.
Oh my gosh. We love Bevy Smith.
And so obviously she paves the way. But she wasn't there when I started. And it's tons of white chefs, right? But I got to be honest with you. I wasn't thinking about sticking out because I was Black. I was thinking I'm sticking out because I didn't go to culinary school and I'm not a chef. And I'm different for them. Yeah. Rachel Ray.
Hence why they told you, go get them knife skills together.
Hello. My knife skills were trash, right? But my mom cut herself growing up, and it was the first time I heard her curse, and I just had, trauma from it. Yeah. So even with, a catering company, I was not using, knife, But, I've never had, I think, imposter syndrome. We only just started hearing it, just like we started hearing outside in, 2006, 2020. It's a construct, I think, for someone to make other people feel that way, because I don't know where it came from. Yeah. We might need to get the etymology of that phraseology, if you will.
I have a whole keynote talk.
Do you?
About imposter syndrome.
Imposter
Sunny,
for what?
And also, Sunny, guess what? It's usually only directed at women.
Hello.
Never at men.
Nobody ever asks a man that.
No one ever asks a man about imposter syndrome.
Listen. Everywhere I have been, I have earned it, and I belong there. And as I'm there, I will continue to earn the spot that I am in. And by the way, more than just white men cook. It's okay to have us
Surprise.
there.
Yeah.
If you ask me, we belong.
Of course.
We belong everywhere.
Yeah.
We were here first.
Yes.
We were everywhere
Yes,
first. And so I've never felt an imposter syndrome. If anything, everyone else should feel it, right? Because if you're out there wondering how and why I got there, then you just don't understand work ethic. You just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm not there by accident.
No.
Yeah, I put in the work.
Yeah.
And so, no one can ever make me feel like I don't belong. It has been tried over and over again. Like you said, someone said the N-word in your face. I've had executives tell me I'm somewhere because I'm black.
Executives?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. No longer with us.
Okay. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
But like the reality there is that some people don't have couth, right? You've been in sales, just like I've been in sales. And so we understand demographics. And sometimes you might need a certain demographic for an advertiser that is looking for that demographic. Right. And so some people just don't know how to talk to you. And they don't know how to say demographic instead of, well, we need you because you're black.
Do you feel like there's ever been a time when you didn't get a position because you were a woman or because you were black or maybe a combination thereof?
Because I was a woman or black. I mean, I'm sure there have been times,
but
I just wouldn't know it. Wouldn't know it.
I said the same damn thing.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm sure there have been times when I didn't get something because I was black or because I was a woman, but I'm not aware of it. No one's ever said it to me. And when I see the people that get the job instead of me, I've always felt like, oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's never been a thing of like, well, I know they tripping because that person is
I've
X,
never
Y,
been
Z.
sad that I didn't get something. That's just something else I noticed that I feel like I wish I could input that vibe into people, but like really, if it's not for me, it's not for me.
What's for you is for you.
Yeah, as soon as I try for something and it goes to someone else, like if you had, I like to say, if you had everything you ever wished for in life, there'd be no room for what you have right now that you absolutely love. You can't get it all. You can't get it all. Like if you wanted that thing, you wouldn't have this thing. So there's so many things in my life that I really love right now that I have to be okay constantly with the things that I don't have and the things that I don't get.
Yeah, I believe that, and this is the Pollyanna in me, I believe that I will get it all, but it won't be all together now. It will be at different stages. Like,
yeah, for me, I ain't getting it all. I know I ain't gonna get it all.
Yeah, I really feel like the things that I want are just so tangible to me. I was reading something and they're talking about how in order to be successful, you have to be a little delusional. You got to be a little delusional. You got to be kind of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and it's all going to work out. And that's why I think the rappers are the greatest master manifestors in life.
Yeah.
They're like sitting in a project.
Writing poems.
Like, with no money.
Yeah.
Sleeping on a mattress, a bare mattress, and they're talking about Rolls Royces, mansions, exotic animals.
Interviews by the pool. Yeah.
And then in 5 years,
they're there.
They're there.
But you know what? It's not even just the rapper. We've even seen the Kuglers of it all, right? We've seen people that can manifest the dreams and work towards them.
But rappers, nobody does it like them. Like when you think about most rappers and the struggle and the space in which they come from, because Ryan Coogler is like well educated. He went to the film school. He did the things to get to where he is, right? Not saying it was easy.
No, it never is.
But he definitely had a lot of tools in which to get to where he was going. Yeah.
It's so interesting you would say this because I was just talking about rappers today to a couple of friends of mine.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Murda Mami strikes again.
No, but I was reminding a friend of mine, you got to remember the rappers were the poets in school. And so even though they might have this big, huge outside, they're so sweet and tender on the inside.
That's why I slept with a lot of them.
Well,
Did you?
I mean,
Maybe?
Let me think.
One or two?
Was he? No, like a producer and like, a rapper,
Yeah. Lovely people most times.
Yeah.
Tender.
Great friends.
Great friends.
Yeah. I think that the beauty of poetry and rappers.
I'm still talking about the sex and stuff. But go on. You talk about the rappers.
I'm so
the poetry.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm more of a like I'm the guy with now. It was like I'm friends with them forever.
Oh,
right?
And then you fall in bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
love
It takes
that.
time. Yeah, it takes
Very
time.
rarely am I friends with a man.
Yeah, but I mean, I did go through the era where I was like, "Hey, you, come over here."
See me?
Are you there now?
I'm demure.
Oh, I love being the
I'm
the chooser.
Oh,
I
no.
don't think I've ever been chose.
When you're a woman, the way I am a woman, the way you are a woman, you also have to, for me, and my mom used to always tell me this, a man shouldn't want anything from you except some loving.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with a mother who was very much the doll. They used to call her the doll. And they used to call it the Maltese kitten.
Okay.
So I grew up with a very ladylike mom and a very heels, cuteness,
I mean,
outfits,
I see it in
the
you.
looks. Right.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
And my aunts, my sisters like that. So the women in my family that have been married and married well for love and people that cherish them, and as my mom used to always say, treat you like a princess, means that, it's not, for me, and I said this on the Sherry show like a couple of months ago, I can't solicit you because
you want to be.
I want you to want me, and I don't want there to be any confusion in the room.
Okay. I like that. I mean,
No
that's definitely
confusion
gotten
in
me
the
in trouble.
room.
I have definitely chosen wrong before. But, I think that it's interesting you say that you are your mother's daughter. I'm definitely my mother's daughter in the way I attack life. And, I'm getting it. I'm not waiting if I see it. Hey.
You go for it. Who keeps ringing this? Sunny, get these people.
In bed with Bevy. May I help you?
Is there something that you want to have in your career? Is there some aspiration? Some little...
I have one more thing.
What's that?
Just one more thing. And I will say, I don't typically practice having these things that I feel like I've got to get done. Like Food Network was never a dream until it was a reality. Yeah. Hot 97 was never a dream until it was a reality. Shout out to Baby Sam. So I love words. I've read so many books. And I always wanted to be published. And so before I got to television, I used to have a concept for a book. But I always felt like, how do I get to a book? Because no one knows me. How do I get a book? And then I got on Food Network, and the coolest thing happened. People were like, when's your cookbook coming out? And I was like, oh, shoot, I get to do a book. I'm going to get published. Yeah. So I wrote that book. When a lot of people in food don't write their cookbook, I wrote it word for word, front to back, and I edited it with the editor, and it came out. I got a New York Times bestseller. So I feel great about that. Yeah. But I would like to write a book.
Yes.
And get...
Fiction.
No, nonfiction.
Nonfiction.
Yeah.
A memoir.
I'm writing it right now. So I'm only 4 chapters in. I've had the title since 2002. It's actually the name of my loan out. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But I named my loan out the title of my book to remind myself to get to the book. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I'm gonna get to the book.
Yeah.
And so I'm at a point now where I hope to finish it and then sell it instead of selling the concept and then being behind the gun of deadline. But I would like to get the book out. And that would make me feel really good because I feel like, and I hate to say this, it was kind of like my cookbook was a book. Yeah. But I want to do a book.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. You have pictures in that book.
Yeah.
You want to do a book
yeah,
where
be
you
some
just have to
in
read.
That book too.
But it's different.
Yeah.
It will not be, and it will be stories.
I want to impress myself.
Yeah.
I want to impress myself.
I feel the same way. My goal was I want to be in the Library of Congress.
Yeah, girl.
You know what I mean?
I'm here for. Let me tell you, the best thing is my grandma dictated, I would say wrote the foreword to my cookbook, but she's a diva, quite like you. She dictated it to me and I wrote it. And that's the beauty for me of the cookbook is forever. My grandma's words are in the Library of Congress.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah. And forget Congress. If it's never there again.
Yep.
Her words are forever.
Yeah, forever.
Not my words. Yeah. Her story.
Agreed.
Her words.
Yes.
Whoo!
Yes.
Whoo!
Yeah. We do these things so much. It's so much bigger than us, right? It's so much bigger than us.
Yeah.
And I love that it's for your grandma.
Yeah.
And she was your champion.
She still is. She's 90. She's like, you know, she's the great matriarch. She is that quintessential grandma. She's the grandma you go over to. Butter's always soft on the counter. Cake's always on the counter. You're not hungry, she's gonna make you a bigger plate. You know what I mean? Like she's that grandma.
Yeah.
So
that's where you got all the love.
So I get all of that from her. I love talking to my grandma and seeing the nature and nurture that I got from her. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So her being published is good enough.
Paying homage to her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you
because,
mean.
you know, the way that I think many of our families were treated was to be wiped out from history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And now,
Sorry.
what's your grandma's name?
I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want people to look her up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll tear them up. But we call her Grandma Two Chains. Because she wears 2 chains.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when I send her stuff in the mail, I send it to Grandma Two Chains, and it always gets to her. Yes.
Insanity.
This is why I tell people, don't stop, because you don't want life to end and you gave up, right?
No.
So I'm going to always be closing.
Yes.
You know, I just hope that I close the deal before the deal gets closed on me.
Babe, the book is happening.
I hope so. Yes.
The book is happening.
I've already got 4 chapters done. I think if I can get to 10, which I have 10 stories,
and then
I'm
you're good to go.
Yeah.
And then you'll sell it.
Yeah.
And so in 2027, you'll come back.
Yes.
Because you'll have a New York Times bestseller for your memoir. We're manifesting. Because you know the reason why we're in the bed, right?
Why are we in the bed?
Because we do our best dreaming in bed.
Okay, yeah.
And the show is about
on vacation.
Yes, which oftentimes we're in the bed.
Yeah,
Either we're in the day bed on the beach or we're in bed sleeping late. But that's the reason why I'm in bed. Because I believe that we do our best dreaming while we're in bed.
Okay.
And that's what this is about. Talking about the middle and about how we're going to get to the next.
You know what I want my next to
Dare
be?
to dream. What's that?
I really do want my next, because I don't know professionally what my next is. I don't think we can ever plan it.
But we can plan it, and then you want to see God laugh, make a plan.
Exactly. I mean, you know, I hope I can, you know, I'm pitching ideas, and then ideas are being brought to me, and so I hope I can find something that makes sense. But truly, my dream is early retirement, spending more time with the planet, with the world, with my guy, with my cats, with my dogs. Like, I want more time, you know, and I don't want to look back and think I put it all into work. Yeah. You know, so I feel like a lot of times people in our career field that are public people, you know, they do it forever.
Forever and ever.
You remember that one time Whitney told Oprah she wanted to have a fruit stand in Jamaica or something like that? Yeah. And Oprah said to her, "No, you're a national treasure." You know, I thought, yeah, but maybe she just wants to go chill.
Yeah.
You know,
especially that kind of intense things.
Yeah, I think that people in the public eye should be allowed to want to just be a private citizen again, if possible.
Yeah. The beauty of the work that you do is that it does not require scrutiny.
Yeah, I don't have
I mean? The people don't want to know everything. They don't need to know everything. They don't want to know everything. It's fine.
It's comfortable.
They have cursory knowledge of you.
That's all they need.
That's all they need.
Yeah.
To get the job done.
Yeah, no one really cares.
The level of fame that you have, get you great restaurant reservations, get you discounts at hotels. New York Times best-selling, 2-time New York Times best-selling author,
God, we'll
Sunny
see.
Anderson is going to have.
I just want to get it off my chest. That's what the book is. I just want to get it off my chest.
Done.
Yeah. And if it lands in someone else's mind and heart, I'll be cool with it.
And it will.
Yeah, I just want to get it off my chest.
One of the greatest gifts, I tell people this all the time, it's not the people that know me from TV. It's people that know me from Revelations, because, radio people have a different relationship with you than TV people. Yeah. Radio people love you.
Yeah, because you spend a little bit more time with them.
You spend more time with them. It's very intimate.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the people that are Revelations people mean the most to me.
Yeah.
People are still writing to me about my book and about how it changed their lives and how it encourages them.
I love those vibes. People late to the party, and I love people that have been in the party since the party started. It's the best compliment, right? When someone can say they used to listen to you on the radio, or like even leaving the kitchen, people telling me that they grew up watching me, and I'm like, grew up? Like, oh my God, it was a long time. And you know, even now with Drew, people reaching out to me like, oh, I love what you're sharing on Drew. Used to listen to you in Detroit. It's like, girl, that was 1997, 98. Like, it sounds corny, and I say that a lot because I feel like when I hear myself say things, it sounds so like pie in the sky, flowery stuff, but like, it's truly an honor to be in someone's home, and they choose regularly to be delighted or tickled pink by whatever you're saying, you know what I mean? That's an honor, because I know when I choose to listen to, and
they have so much to choose from.
Yes,
and if they choose
now,
you, it means something.
Yeah, and so like I say a lot, I'm gonna pimp this girl.
Yes, come on, Players Anthem. I choose you.
I don't know how it works, but I know that it has worked, and I'm so appreciative that what I'm willing to learn and share is working for others and for me. Amen. And I'm so thankful I get to do this gig of life.
And I'm so thankful that you got in the bed with Bevy.
I'm in the bed with Bevy. I can't believe, what are you doing with me in your bed?
Doing this, having conversation, having tea and crumpets and such.
Thanks for having me.
No, I'm so happy that you...
I honor you and look up to you.
Babe,
yeah.
I honor you and I look up to you. And you were one of the first people I called about this. When I was like trying to like put it together.
I remember you putting it together, yeah.
And look at this.
I'm so proud of you. I love it.
The fact that it actually happened is like a Christmas miracle.
Well, it's almost how you're trying to speak to me, is you're the human that can see it in your mind's eye, and you can be it, right? And there are so few people that will believe their inner voices and just chase it down. And you might not get it all, right? But like I said, the things that you do get, they will totally make up for the things that you don't get.
She tried.
Yeah, she tried.
She tried. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Is a tombstone. She tried. And it might be the voice. She tried when you step onto the grassy knoll.
This was fun.
It was fun. Thank you, my Sunny, for being in bed with the Bevy.
Thank you for having me.
Did you enjoy it? Was it warm and cozy?
I had a really good time. Yeah, it was cuddly and cozy. You asked me stuff I haven't been asked before. I said some things I haven't said before.
Well, that's good. That's what we do because we're in bed.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you're in bed. You tell secrets. You tell things that you've never said before out loud. And ultimately, you dare to dream, which is what this laying in bed is about.
And thank you. I've thought about this for so long. Just literally thank you for seeing me. Because I feel like, you know, I have been in spaces where I'm not seen by us a lot. And I'm not championed by us a lot. And I think that you do that work for so many people. But for me individually, so nice to be invited. Not just here, but to your other events. I really thank you for seeing me.
Of course. Yeah. You're a gift.
Well,
you're a gift. You're this incredible talent. You're so smart. You're vivacious. You're all those things. I will never understand why we don't see the full spectrum of ourselves.
We're not a monolith.
We're not a monolith.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't understand why that would be a thing, but we got to get that together.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.